Hey guys, welcome to Cooking with Chase. Hope everyone's having a fantastic day. Today we're making jazzed up fruit salad. So grab a drink, let's get cooking. Cheers. Okay, so fruit salad, not very complicated. Cut up fruit. But there are a couple tricks, tips, things to kind of make it a little bit better. This is something that I've been doing for a long time, but kind of realizing maybe not everybody does. And always the salad now reminds me again of Kelowna. My fiance Tyler, her mom just loves this dish, and always talked about how good this fruit salad was. So, Lynn, this one goes out to you. Okay, so whatever fruit you can find, it is kind of coming into spring in Canada, so this is all going to be imported or hothouse fruit, which is fine. Ideally, this would be, middle of the summer, peach season, raspberries, and strawberries are coming in, all that good stuff, and you go and market and you find it, then you're having a great time. But as it is, you just take yourself to the grocery store, buy yourself whatever fruit you got. So I've got clementines, some strawberries, some grapes, and this, for some bizarre reason, Frozen 2 themed tropical pineapple, which I don't know what the advertising connection is there, but Frozen 2, great film. If you haven't seen it, check it out. So I've chopped up a lot of the fruit already, but I'm just going to kind of show you what you're kind of looking for when you're kind of cutting it up. So the goal here is to make easy bites. But the one other thing you want to think about, and this is a little time consuming, is you want to make sure every piece is cut. Because you want to be able to get the juice inside you want the juice to be able to come out of the fruit and make kind of this syrup. Because we're going to add some sugar, we're going to macerate it. We're actually going to add a touch of salt. Because even though it's a dessert, you still want it seasoned. So take the time, even if you got grapes, cut them in half. That's all we're looking for there. And then with the strawberries, you're looking to kind of, for me, the nicest shape is just kind of cutting them down. Cutting them to these nice little wedges, right? Kind of ended up being 5 pieces for that strawberry. I've already taken the tops off, obviously, and washed them. Really make sure you wash your fruit, guys, well. Fruit is one of the most heavily pesticided crops, so especially when it's coming from Central America or Mexico, even California and the U.S., which a lot of fruit comes from, they really spray it down there. So you're going to want to give it a good wash and water. Take a minute. And then we're going to get the pineapple going. So, I'm obviously just making a little bowl for me and Ty to kind of pick away at. Probably have it for dessert tonight. The best way to keep a pineapple is don't chop the whole thing up in one go. Kind of just take off what you need for that dish or whatever you're using it for, and then get some saran wrap or some beeswax kind of covering up on the pineapple, and keep the rest in your fridge. What I'm going to do is just kind of top off the top, just for space, so it fits into the fridge a little bit better. Get that into our waste bowl. And then, with pineapple, you're looking for the smell as much as anything. So I'm seeing the golden color on the bottom here looks a little riper than the top. So I'm just going to cut off the bottom and cut it at that much. Oh, not bad. Okay. Cut off this, and then you can go around. You can cut it like this, around there. Find a really easy way. It's kind of just roll it on your serrated knife there. You end up with a nice little pineapple wedge, ring, pineapple roll. Nice piece of pineapple. There you go. Then you're going to take it, miss any pieces, make sure you get those trimmed off. Those texturally are just obviously really unpleasant. There. Cut your core out. Oh, wrong bowl. And these guys I just like to cut in half again. Just so we're kind of getting them, think about the same size as that strawberry, right? That is a lot closer than that would be. You know, you want to kind of build those nice even bites. Work your way through there. There we go. Did you see I dropped a piece? I dropped a piece. Like I said, I'm just going to cover this up when I'm done. Get that in the fridge. Get a smaller bowl for your pineapple discards. You want it a little more overflowing than that. Okay, so obviously at this point, I've basically just cut up fruit, which I'm quite confident everybody knows how to do. But this is maybe where, you know, it's going to be something new for people. I'm actually going to get a bigger bowl for this before I try to mix this. Okay, great. Dropped a piece of pineapple. And the one thing that I don't worry about cutting is if you do get clementines. Obviously, if you get a big like navel orange, just peel that and chop that. The membrane on oranges is so thin that like just through the sheer osmosis of like that syrup that we're making, it's going to do what it needs to do. So you just kind of give this a big little peel. Just break it off into segments there. There's this really cool product. I can't remember what it's called, so I don't really know why I'm telling you about it. But basically what it does is it dissolves the white off these oranges, and that's how they make mandarin oranges. Mandarin oranges are just clementines that they soak it in the solution and dissolves the membrane. I forget what it's called. If you search dissolving orange membrane on Google, you can actually order it from Amazon. And then make your own mandarin oranges. I don't know who's going to do that, but you could. Okay, so you've got your oranges, you've got all your fruit. Give it a little toss. Just going to wipe up my cutting board. That's what we should do. So we're going to go ahead and get a little bit of sugar in this. Now, the sugar is to add sweetness for sure, but actually the main point of this is to what we call macerate the fruit. So maceration is just, it's like pickling, but instead of using salt, you're using sugar. So the sugar actually will do the same thing as salt to fruit. It will extract liquid, right? Concentrate the fruit flavor, and then that liquid, the syrup, the liquid that's extracted, will mix with this sugar and become kind of like a syrup. And then that glazes the fruit, right? So we're not adding like probably 2 teaspoons for a bowl this size, which is 789 grams of fruit. And that's not going to be like, oh man, it's holy camoly, is that ever some sweet fruit salad? But what that sugar is going to do, and it won't do it immediately, you won't really see this for about an hour maybe, 30 minutes to an hour, depending on how much sugar you add. The sugar will dissolve and that syrup will start to come out. At this point, we're all going to add some salt. Now, we're not going to add a ton, right? But there's a counter, it's like salted caramel, right? The salt makes the caramel taste sweeter, right? It opens up the taste buds. It allows you all the other flavors to become more prominent. So, like, you need salt in your desserts, right? Like, you think you're making a cake, you're still putting some salt in there. I'm adding only probably half a teaspoon, whatever that pinch is, which is about, for me, it's about half a teaspoon. But that's more than enough, again, because you're not thinking of seasoning the fruit, you're thinking of seasoning the syrup, right? I'm just kind of giving this a little bit of a toss. Then we're going to zest a lime. Oh, got zest right here. If there's ever a place where you could like really see the advantage of zest, I think it's honestly in this, right? The citrus is like the zest is so floral, it complements fruit so well, and then we're also gonna add the juice of this lime because it's fruit salad, but it's still a dish. You still want to think about seasoning it, and you still want to think about balancing sweetness and acid, right? Then we're going to pick a little bit of basil, which I forgot to do ahead of this video. we're gonna add some herbs to this. And you can add cilantro, or you can even add parsley. Okay, like I've had it with parsley before. Really remember to roll your fruit before you cut her. There. Yeah, or like even a little bit of sage or a touch of rosemary, like those savory herbs. This dish is so sweet, you know, that it can take a lot of like heavy herbs, right? So again, this doesn't look like much, but you can also already see that there's sorry, my hands on this would be better. You can see there's a syrup starting to extract from the fruit. And that's through the sugar and a little bit of salt. So this liquid right there is like liquid gold, right? It's a mix of actual fresh fruit juice, but it's also been seasoned and it's a little bit sweet. It's got this like acidity from the lime juice and really floral notes from the lime zest. Right, so you can see how shiny everything's becoming. It's starting to get glazed. Another hour and that will be completely transformed. I'm just going to come over here and give this a little basil, a little trim. I don't need a lot. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, guys. Let's go watch that. You don't need a lot. I'm just going to chop this like 3 times, right? Because again, that basil will infuse into the syrup. And that's really all we're trying to do is get some of this like lemony pepperiness of the basil into that syrup. And you can see, we're talking about this orange. So the pith is started to break down, right? Start to look like a mandarin orange. This is in 5 minutes. Another hour, this will almost have completely dissolved and you get these beautiful plump little mandarin orange kind of bits. So yeah, really simple dish, guys. You know, you could do this with some cream and get some like scones and make kind of this beautiful fruit salad. Whipped cream over scones would be fantastic. Put this out at a brunch in Kelowna overlooking a lake. So people really love in your life. It'd be, you know, amazing. An amazing memory for you to have. Just bring this to a party and kind of watch and be amazed where people are like, why is this fruit salad so good? Because I put sugar in it, and a bit of salt, and lime zest, and I treated it like I was making a dish. And yeah, you know, I'll just throw it in a bowl. You know, but this would be better, like I said, in an hour. And I know it's not quite summer yet, right? But my goodness gracious, if that doesn't make you feel like summer's around the corner, I don't know what will. So, okay, thanks for tuning in. If you're cooking along or making the recipes, be sure to tag me with Chase Bros. # cooking with Chase. Stay home, stay safe, eat well, and we'll see you tomorrow at 5. Bye, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to like and subscribe. New videos every Monday to Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern. If you have any questions or suggestions, leave them in the comments. And as always, stay home, stay safe, eat well. Thanks.